Hello and welcome to my channel Tools for Ascension by Wolfgang. I'm Wolfgang and this here is Kirstie Lauren.
Hello.
She is a Lightworker, channeler, does light language, and of course mudras, the whole 9 yards. Very interesting points of view. She channels, for my high self. She's a great seer. And today we will be working on the fire element. See what kind of karma we have, how it affects that, how to use it, and then of course do a clearing. Very, very potent, very powerful. And we ask that everything that happens in this podcast here and from this podcast is going to turn out for the highest good in divine harmony with the most benevolent outcomes. And you should, your listener should agree to this too. I mean, it's for you, We already did our protection. Alright, and here we go. So we want to work on our elements. So first of all, Kirstie, does she have, from her or our ancestors, any dark karma with elements? Yes or no?
No.
How about Wolfgang?
No.
That's awesome. Means I probably had, and we cleared this. Is that correct?
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay, that's very good. And so we are good with all the elements. Is that correct?
Yes.
Okay, cool. Are we taking advantage to the fullest, highest good, of the potential relationship we could have with the elements?
No.
Yeah, I expected that. So first of all, so ladies first, Kirstie, so how much is she kind of aligned, without fanaticism, let's say without fanaticism, perfect alignment, with the elements, would be 100%. So how much in general is Kirstie aligned with the elements?
5%.
Yeah. No, I think I'm sane here, I mean, it's just, we gotta face reality,
I was like 100 or 90, and it was like 5.
Right, you're like so great,
Or like 50, but 5, I was like, that's okay. I get it.
Big thing in front of us. That's great. I mean, it's like the Wild West for us, New territory. Trees, animals, it's just beautiful. Okay. So now, how about Wolfgang? How much is he aligned, with the elements?
2%.
See, you win. Those women, they have such an edge over Right. So let's ask, so which element, is the most important one that we should hook up with now? So it's about being taught by the elements, I think.
Fire.
Fire, okay. Now, what is the relationship of, the element fire and the fire dragons? Is the fire dragon like a high self aspect of fire, or what is it?
The dragons are a complement to the element. And the fire is the layers that are clearing many things if called upon.
So it seems they're all kind of clearing if you ask them for it, So if you look at the clearing qualities of the different elements, fire, water, earth, ether. What else do we get?
Plasma.
Yeah, plasma, right. Yeah, but that would be ether, right? Ether, plasma, this higher dimension. Yeah, it's kind of for humans a wiggly area. There is a lot to it. you know, it's just like spirit, yeah. Anything you can't touch, you know. So, um, how is fire the most powerful cleanser?
Yes.
Now, what is the specialty of fire? You know, and so as a cleanser, where should it be applied and where not?
It can be used to clear metabolic structures and uh, quarks, particularly when working with clients. It sets the stage in the beginning. So you can use the element of fire at the very beginning to clear a lot of things that maybe you would have touched base on in the session.
So yeah, it's the first grenade through the window. It takes
Yeah.
care of.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. And you said quarks. What do you mean with that?
Oh, quark.
Quirks.
Quarks, like Corks.
Could you explain
Quarks.
what
So
that means?
a quark is a system that has been put in place to pretend to go down a place that is not needed.
Oh, like a distraction.
Mm-hmm.
You know, the fake timeline, so to say. You know, fake
Yes.
heaven, fake timeline.
Yes.
Fake light. Mm-hmm. Okay, so interesting. So let's see. So humanity, you know, or let's say our ancestors, would they benefit if we, let's say, you know, send fire down, you know, the karmic timelines?
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Okay. And we might even use this now, you know, for, I think, the general public here. You know, there's nothing personally of dirty laundry to be ashamed of, I guess. So, you know, so we asked, you know, for, you know, also our watchers, you know, that you can agree, you can involve your own personal ancestors in this if you want to, or just feel it out. It's upon yourself, you know, how advanced you are, etc. Or just become familiar with the ideas. So, but now we ask that all the ancestors that are still stuck, you know, around karmic issues, structures, you know, and quarks, you know, and other, you know, impurities, that need to be cleared, you know, that would liberate them, you know, if they're gone, you know. So we ask that they be brought, no, into the perfect, you know, fire chambers, fire transmutation chambers, you know, that are completely governed by absolute source. You know, there's no, let's say, sabotage there. You know, it's all of transmutation for the highest good. So we ask, you know, that these, you know, even the dragons, you know, that work on behalf of the fire and complementary, you know, and the elements, you know, please transmute, you know, these darknesses that should be transmuted by the fire. Amen. Amen. Amen.
Mm-hmm.
And should we present love to the elementals?
Yes.
Let's call in the fire elementals now. Amen. Let's send love to them. Source love if you can. And we ask them, you know, to transmute, you know, the darkness, you know, the stuff in us that can go now. That's just holding up things. Make this a joyful thing. And also for our ancestors. Old thought forms, old emotions, old contracts, old cords, old chains, old cages, old habits, anything that's obsolete. Yeah, please clear that. Amen, amen, amen. Of course, only for the highest good and under supervision of High Self. Ask the High Self, is there something we can do to enhance this?
Yes.
What would that be?
Setting up fire clearing continuously when needed.
Okay, we give permission for that to be installed. Amen, amen, amen. So basically automatic flamethrower.
Yes.
If you ring the bell and you're a scammer, you're going to be turned into a roasted weenie. So automatic fire defense system. Yeah, I love it. Governed by our high self, and the intelligence. We don't want it to go rogue and then get blamed. That was the mailman. Sorry. We also ask that any attachments, be transmuted like dark cords, through which others, siphon the life force of ourselves and ancestors. And we are siphoning or dumping life force. Anything else we can do in enhance?
With quartz, doing a clearing with water and then fire is best.
Okay, well, thanks. So we preserve the quartz for the water, cool first. So, in general for humanity, basically our listeners, the more enlightened part of humanity, I hope, what does your high self see which should be cleared through the fire element?
False timelines.
Okay. So
collective portals that are leading into darkness. And energetic systems that are not of the light.
Okay. So, we asked, the fire element, as well as the overshadowing consciousness, the angelic aspect, the God source aspect of this, and, other implementing entities like the divine dragons, fire dragons. Whoever we can speak for, whether we were installing these wrong timelines, or, collective portals to mislead others, into the darkness, whether we were involved establishing or whether we and our ancestors are trapped by those. We speak for both. We ask that for the highest good and in alignment with, divine law. These constructs please be burned now and transmuted into love and light. Amen. Everybody agree, for their own, for themselves, whatever sphere of influence you have, and get your friends, to do so too. Let's see what kicks in. It's kicking in now. Do you feel it?
Mm-hmm.
Kirstie, what do you feel? Describe to the people, what do you feel?
I just felt at first this big heaviness, and then as you were just saying that, and then just like a whoosh of heat come up, and then just feeling of lightness, like weights had been lifted off.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's similar to me. There's this chimney up my spine,
Yeah, yeah. Yeah.
And let it burn, let it rip, It's mhm. And we give thanks to the fire element.
Thank you.
This is something that we can do to make the fire elementals happy in this consciousness.
Yes, they can be sent love.
Okay, so could this be done in the form of a candle, a campfire, etc., or can it even be done without open fire?
Without open fire, but they love open fire.
Yeah.
So a candle.
Mhm. Yeah, let me just pitch in a little bit, for my knowledge that I have about fire. Sorry, this is not channeled. This is personal life experience. So, fire is a thought amplifier. It's called the messenger of the gods, as such. Whatever you sacrifice in fire, like Vedic fire sacrifice, gets amplified, as such. And I had, an experience where, on the top of the roof of a flat roof of an ashram, there were some new people in Bombay, in Bollywood, and I checked them out, and I felt this vibration, like really high vibration, and I'm like, guys, what do you do? This is awesome, And they said, well, we just did a fire sacrifice. I know those big fire sacrifices, with ghee and all that. I didn't see anything like this. And so they showed me a copper pyramid in verse, and they put a little dried cow down in there, and with a little ghee, and then, they go face it towards the sun, and then they burn the ghee, and then they incantate Om Suraya Namaha. Surya is the sun god, that's the title, this. And Namaha means I surrender, I greet you, And he did this for me again, only like 3 times the mantra, and pew, amazing. Amazing, the way they raised that consciousness in a very, very short time. So yeah, power is, is very much with fire. Definitely there. Okay. We thank you all for being here. If you enjoyed this, give us a thumbs up. Share with your friends. You can run this on loop, at night, all through night, right-clicking it, on YouTube at least, and get a deeper purification probably. Kirstie is available, for private sessions and courses. The information material, is of course attached. Same for Wolfgang. I do private session only. One-on-one, go deep, the deep dive, very specific. You will be drawn, you will know, what is best for you. Yeah, and, at the end there will be more information about other videos. Don't drive, drink a lot of water, take it easy, and share your experiences, with the group, I would say. Do you answer questions, when people, write comments, Kirstie?
Yes, I do.
So there you heard it. If your questions are intelligent, I answer too. So take advantage of that, and plus you're sharing with other people, so you're not alone. Maybe your neighbors don't think, as you do, but probably people that watch our stuff are closer to you. So we love you a long time. Namaste.
Namaste.